And today's guest is here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hello.
How are you?
Hey. Say hi to my people. Say hi.
Hi.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kiskapids podcast. I have a very special guest with me today. I've been trying to make this happen for a couple of weeks now, and finally, we made it happen.
Can make it happen.
By all means necessary.
Yes.
So I'll let my guest introduce herself. I mean, I've seen her work. I respect what she does, and
Thank
I have
you.
nothing but praises.
Thank you.
So I'll let her introduce herself, and then we'll take it up from there.
Hey everybody, my name is Shushanik. I'm from Armenia, a place which doesn't have a good reputation here, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I am an interior designer and the founder of a design agency in China.
Wow. So all the three?
Yes, so we do interior design, architecture and branding.
There you have it, guys. Yeah. So like you said, it's not just a studio. You guys do like all... But before we even tap into exactly what you do, I just want to know the back history of like how you got to just the whole market.
Okay.
Because you're the founder of this
Yes.
company, right? And for all founders, it just comes with the history. You don't just wake up one day and it's
Thank
all
you.
like, luxury office employees.
No.
Yeah, you
Oh
have
my
to
God.
go through. You
So
have
many
to
steps.
Yeah, there's so many steps you take, and
Yeah.
even getting to that, it's just the things that shape you from a young age. So, would you say just growing up in? Oh, where did you grow up?
Oh, I
Start
grew
with-
up in Russia.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Just bouncing all over the place.
Yes, exactly.
So, but you were born in Armenia?
I was born in Armenia, then my parents immigrated to Russia, so I grew up in Russia. Then when I was 16, I moved back to Armenia to do my studies in architecture. So I was living alone from 16 in Armenia. Then
You know how
It's
old
not
Kenyans
the-
have to be before they move out
Oh,
of their
serious?
houses? Yeah, they move out.
actually in my culture it's also not very common, but because
it's not?
my parents didn't want us to stay in Russia and want us to kind of feel that we are Armenian, like get back to our roots, So they sent us back to Armenia to study, and we had to live alone because they were back Russia trying to make a living for us.
But how do you? But 16 practically is an adult, I assume. Can you do like your transactions in those countries once you're 16? Like
yes.
paying bills and everything?
Yes.
You get an ID at 16?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, you do get an ID at
Yes.
16? Oh yeah, you see, Kenya, 18 and even an 18-year-old probably needs an ID at 20.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
just how we've been conditioned, and unfortunately that's just the case. So
Okay.
at 16, you're doing your...
I'm doing my studies. So actually I went back to the last year of high school
Okay.
because all my studies in school were in Russian, and then I had to learn Armenian all over again. So in 1 year I had to learn my native language all over again, and then I entered the Bachelor of Architecture. Then I did it for 4 years. Then I went to Italy for masters in interior design.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
After that, I stayed in Italy for work, which I was not supposed to.
Why?
Because I had student visa and my visa
Oh,
expired,
it had expired.
and I just stayed for work for a few months just to get the experience in like Italian design firm, because it's a good thing to have on your CV, and also you get a lot of knowledge in terms of design. And then I went back to Russia, stayed with my parents for a few months, worked, made some money, and then I was looking for jobs anywhere.
Okay, wait. We don't want you to give us the whole story. Once you mention something, we have to understand. Okay, when you went back to Russia, what kind of jobs were you doing in Russia? Because did you immediately get a job in a farm, or you had to do other like odd jobs before you figure your way out in the industry?
Actually, I self-taught graphic design So I got a graphic design job in a local magazine. So I was doing graphic design for 6 months just to save up some money and move out, forever.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was looking for jobs everywhere, anywhere in the world, and I noticed that there are a lot of jobs in China because the construction industry was growing at that time in 2014.
Yeah.
So I got a job in architecture firm in China. So I was like, okay, fine, and I moved there. But
yeah, here comes the but.
But on the job description, they didn't tell me it's gonna be 12 hours a day, seven days a week. But that's what it actually was.
It's great. Oh wait, is it China or Japan where like people really get super overworked, like even the suicide rate is
Yes, that's
high?
Japan. Yes, but
so it's almost the same culture.
Yes, I'm sure you heard about 996.
No.
996. So in Western society it's 9 to 5, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, but in China it's 9 to 9, 6 days a week.
Can't do it.
And that's normal. Like that's the culture.
Everybody just works.
Yes, everybody does it. So I kind of went through a long time of doing that, and I felt, oh my God, this needs to be changed, And also the leadership that I had in the companies that I worked in, I was not satisfied with it, and I felt like creatives needs to be treated differently.
How differently?
Like you need to give people some freedom to express themselves if they want them to be creative, right? In the company that I worked in, we were not allowed to talk to each other because the boss liked the office to be quiet.
Okay, first of all, that can't. Okay, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yes.
But was that the culture from where you're coming from?
No.
Well, okay, before we go back to that, what kind of person were you like in school? Are you like a social person? Are you an introvert?
No, I was an introvert, definitely.
Really?
Yes.
Well, then you should have fit in perfectly there. If they're telling you not to talk to anyone, clearly you don't want to talk to anyone in the first place.
That's not true. Well, actually, no, it's the opposite. Like you want to, because you basically working 12 hours like with the same people every day, right? So imagine if you are not talking to those people, who are you talking to? Like you don't have time to like have personal life, social life. So it was very, very annoying. And actually the older I grow, the less introvert I become. So I kind of teach myself to be more extroverted because it's just I think the introverted or extroverted you are depends on the way your parents the way
they raised you.
Yeah, the way they raised you. So I was a middle child, so nobody had time for me. I was always in my corner drawing.
Oh yeah.
So that's why like I became an introvert, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna be an introvert my entire life, right?
True, very true.
Yeah.
But it depends as well. It depends on maybe that's the only way you get your own peace, because there's some people who are comfortable just being alone. But let's figure out how, because you're talking about moving to all these different countries and just waking up one day, and I'm assuming like you don't have like all your funds in check when you're moving to a place.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because the way you're speaking, it's like you're just taking a leap of faith.
Yes, every time.
Yeah, because now I'm just trying to understand. Okay, how about finances? How does that come to play? Because even when you're moving to a place like China, and maybe you want your first job, and they're not giving you maybe the exact amount of money that you want.
Yes.
They didn't?
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, because, I'm assuming even if you have like your degrees and everything, they're like, but you don't have work experience. So maybe we can take advantage of you a bit.
Yes, exactly.
Did that happen?
Definitely.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
So the first month I arrived in China, they deducted all my ticket expense, my visa expense, everything was deducted out of my salary. And actually the rent is very high in Shenzhen, in the city I was living. Yeah. So I was paying rent, and then at the end it was like 1,000 RMB left, which is like 15,000 Kenya shilling.
No way.
Yes.
You're lying.
Yes, true.
That's
So
not
I
possible. You're lying.
It's possible.
What?
So for a couple of months, I had to live on that, like 15,000 Kenya shilling a month. So what I was doing-
Wait. Don't rush to it. First of all, I want to understand. So, if you get that, that should be enough for the house and food and transport to work.
No, deducted the rent. So
Oh, so what's left is the 15.
yes,
Okay. Food, transport.
everything.
Were you able to manage that?
Well, what I did, I walked to work,
Mhm.
which is 40 minutes, good exercise.
But not
And
necessary.
I was eating very clean. Let's put it that way.
On a budget?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to go through some stuff to grow, right?
To appreciate things in life.
Yes, and
Yeah.
if you want to achieve something, you have to go through some hardships, right? If I didn't take that leap of faith, I would still be in Russia with my parents.
But here's the thing, is Russia a bad place to be?
Yes.
What? You're lying. Come on, really?
Have you been there?
No, but I haven't been there. So, yeah, so I can't say anything about it, but okay, how's that in comparison? Because I'm guessing if you saw the need to actually just move to a completely different country and start working from there, apart from actually instead of looking for work in Russia, then definitely, I mean, why would you say? And we don't have to say anything that will get you banned in going back to Russia.
Please.
So please, let's not do that. But is it just about lifestyle, the culture? What wasn't the best?
First, it's the culture. People are kind of very cold. And also because I'm not Russian ethnically.
You actually look Russian.
Thank you.
You do.
So.
But can they tell that you
yes, they can tell. And my family, if you look at my family, we look totally different. Like, okay, I got that, like, light skin and everything. But for example, my brother, he looks Middle Eastern. Completely. Like, he has olive skin and all that.
Yeah.
So he was treated differently. I wasn't. So you can tell, like, even in one family, can be different treatments, just based on your skin color, which we already felt in Russia. So, I mean, and our parents kind of raised us in very patriotic way. So we were always said, like, oh, Armenia is much better, like, when you grow up you need to move back to Armenia and stuff like that. So from the beginning we didn't have this desire to stay in Russia, you know.
It was already instilled in your mind.
Yes.
You need to do what you brought you here maybe, and then move to
Yeah, correct.
Sorry, the cake is too good. So yeah, in comparison to now the culture in China, were people treating you, because I'm guessing if you move to a different country, you still look different to them.
Yes.
And they can see it as well,
yes.
right?
Actually, I moved in 2014. At that time, as many foreigners there. So yeah, they always try to take a picture of you in the metro.
Wait, I thought that just happens with black people.
No, I mean now maybe yes, because they got used to white people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in the beginning it was.
So you'd find people like this.
Yes.
Oh wow. Well,
and then you say one picture 100 RMB and they stop taking pictures immediately. Sorry, I will erase it.
Yeah, but just cause yes, work is important, but I'm just trying to figure out all these things that happen around you to just shape the kind of person you become and actually motivate you to keep chasing your dreams and everything. How's your social life like in China?
I have a few friends, not too many. I don't go out too much, so I just have like a group of friends that I always keep in touch with. And I have connections, I have a network, but in terms of close friends, very few. And mostly foreigners.
How is that, or why? Is it by choice, or is it hard to make friends?
It just happened like that. I had Chinese friends, but kind of with time they just disappear, or I just lose interest, or they
What do you
lose
mean?
interest.
Why?
It's just very different. Like in terms of
What do you mean?
girls,
No, if I make friends, like now we're already
Uh-huh.
friends. I mean, we're friends. You have
Yeah.
to deal with it. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're
Yeah.
saying it in terms of girls.
Yes, it's just different culture. For example, like I want to work hard and make my own living, But in Chinese culture, the girl is waiting to get married for the husband to provide for her.
Ah.
And for me, it's very hard to be friends with this kind of person.
Wait, why?
Because we have totally different life views.
Mm-hmm.
We have totally different aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I tried to have friendships.
Oh, but it was
but
hard because of how
yes, because at the end of the day,
you just believe in being independent, and
yes,
is that the case?
yes.
But I've heard this about like in Scandinavia,
Mm-hmm.
women are more breadwinners as compared to their men. Is that an actual fact or just a myth?
I don't know.
No?
I have never been to
Oh,
Scandinavia.
you never?
Yeah.
But it's like a neighboring country.
No.
It's not?
No. We are based in like near Turkey, Iran, so Middle East.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I know. I'm talking about Russia.
Oh,
though.
Russia.
I'm talking about
Yes.
Russia.
Well,
If you're in
that's
Russia,
north of Russia, yes.
but how's the culture there?
In
Because
Russia.
you grew up
Well,
there.
Russian women are very strong.
Yeah.
Yes,
They're
and
more independent.
yeah, more independent. They
Yeah.
provide for their families.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Russian men are like. But I don't want to generalize the entire nation.
No.
There are many nice Russian guys, like my
Yeah,
friends.
but I've
Yeah.
had like like a lot of just women from there who
Mhm.
have like the kind of the same
Mm.
theory, and even in terms of I heard, where was it, that if you have like a baby, if a woman has like a baby,
Uh-huh.
she actually leaves the baby behind with the dad as she goes back to work. I don't know where that was. And the dad gets like a leave days to take care
yeah,
of the
I
baby.
think it's in like Sweden or somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm not sure where, but I'll just get my facts right before we go back to that. So yeah, it was hard for you to connect with these
Mm-hmm.
girls in China because they've been raised
Yes,
differently.
I don't blame them.
They've been
Yeah.
conditioned to,
Yes.
and maybe in Kenya as well, that might be the case.
Yes,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, but in Kenya we have both. We have like a lot of independent
Yeah,
women, and we also
On
have
your
like
podcast, like all the girls are very independent,
yeah,
entrepreneurs.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it scares me. It
Why?
scares me. It scares me. No, here's the thing.
Are you?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'll tell you that. You see, the best thing about the podcast is a lot of these women, before I started doing the podcast,
Mhm.
there was no platform for them to actually speak about like such things. So if you see somebody on Instagram, let's say like for your case,
Mhm.
if I see you on Instagram, I'd see a picture of you smiling, maybe a picture of you after the gym,
Mhm.
a picture maybe at a coffee house.
Yeah.
I'll be like, she's just maybe a model, just
Okay.
regular model.
Uh-huh.
But now you see, if you don't talk about like your all these stripes that you've earned, like education-wise and business-wise things that you have going on, because like on Instagram, people want like to either see or hear. So if they see, all they see is pictures, it leaves a lot for interpretation.
Yeah, that's why I write long captions about what I'm going through.
Yeah.
It might be a pretty picture, but
Yeah.
I make sure I write down my truth so people know, like,
Also, you do those
Yeah.
captions where you
yes.
dig deep on,
Yes.
like just, this is what I'm going through.
Yes.
I'm trying to achieve this. Independent. Are you a feminist?
I don't like the term.
At least one person doesn't
I
like
feel
the
like
term.
people just cover up with this term and then
Mhm.
they just keep saying, "Oh, I'm a feminist," but yes, the men should take care of women. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense,
yeah,
right?
how those two go together? Like,
They
don't.
just, yeah, you, I mean, I think, and not to bash anyone, of course, it's kind of like a slippery slope, because now we don't know what you want exactly from my point as a man, I'm trying to think of like, okay, you're claiming all this independence, but at the same time, you're like, if this man that I'm getting with doesn't have all these things together, take care of my bills, take care of all these things, I'm like, okay, now where does the whole independence thing come in?
Yes, exactly. So
it's conflicting and different interpretations as well for different people. Okay, now back to China. We're talking about this just social life in general. So I'm assuming if at the beginning you're not getting enough money, I mean, entertainment-wise, clearly, is there cash for remaining to entertain yourself?
Well, the first 2 months, no, but later I started to get more, and eventually I changed my job to a more like higher salary job. So yes, I was going out starting from the second year.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, but there is not much like culture in Shenzhen. Like there are different cities in China are completely different. So Shenzhen is a very new city. So there is not much culture going on there. But there are like clubs, there are places you can go out to. But all of that is very new, and that's why it's just very like not there yet.
Okay.
But places like Beijing, Shanghai, they are much better in terms of
just
entertainment, yes,
right?
Social life.
But what do you do for fun? We'll still get back to work, because I'm just trying to get, a glimpse of the kind of person you are.
Okay.
Because that's how you drive, that's how you propel to being where you actually are now. And I think that story will enable me to just, and the listeners to understand the kind of person we are.
So what do we do for fun? We go out to for dancing.
You dance?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Just hanging out with friends, dinner, dancing. What else?
So that means
gym.
just don't just tell me the only thing you do for fun is going out and drinking, because drinking and dancing go hand in hand. Is that what we're saying?
I don't drink much, and I don't get drunk. Being from where I'm from.
Oh, Russia, right?
Yes, but in my culture in Armenia, we start drinking from we just drink with our family, having family dinner or lunch.
From what age?
5, 6. It's your parents force you to drink.
Who's serving children alcohol? 5,
yes.
6.
But even
also,
last
you just
time,
get used to it.
Yes, so alcohol doesn't have much effect on your body. I'd never been drunk in my life. I get tipsy, but not
really
wasted. Yeah.
Oh wow. I say here that Kenyans start feeding your children alcohol.
I think it's a good thing, because once you forbid something, people just want to overuse it,
Yeah. Okay. So then, just guessing, that never excited you as you were growing up.
Yes.
You'd see alcohol and just decide, maybe I want to drink, maybe I don't.
Last
but at
time,
16?
Last time I went back home, we had breakfast.
Yeah.
And they made a special soup with cow leg inside and stuff like that. Yeah. And you have to drink vodka with that. And my parents forced me to drink vodka for breakfast. Something special.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess, you see, the funny thing is that when I even get to live through other people in the podcast, because that's interesting and intriguing to me, because how you can feed a child alcohol here, if anybody saw you, just child services are called, first of all.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. Neighbors are called, you're having a meeting, they have to what's going on with you. You're spoiling a kid. But you see, here we are in a completely different culture where this is normal. So by the time guys are teenagers, I'm guessing even buying cigarettes, I hear 12 you can buy. Is it 12?
No, cigarettes 18.
16? 18?
Yes.
In
but
Russia or
buy,
Armenia?
Both. I think, yeah.
Okay. But alcohol you can buy?
No, I think alcohol is also legally it's 18.
Oh, okay. But it's just in the houses where...
Yes, exactly. You drink with your family. You are not going to party when you are
you don't really need
12
to go.
years old.
Oh, no, yeah. You're not going to any clubs at 12 years old. Okay, so my next question would be,